All right, Leilani Cawthon here, Learning Council News Media in New Orleans. Great place to be. Food is normally unbelievable. I have never had that kind of potato chip before, and it was amazing. All right, so so I have with me Justin Wax, who's the principal from Denham Springs Junior High School, right?
That's right.
That's right. That is who you are.
That's me. You got that one right. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Yay! I feel like I just got an A grade. All right. Okay, good. So, and then Bill Gallagher, who's the principal from Northshore High School, St. Tammany Parish. Did I say that?
Yes, ma'am. That is correct.
Public school
Happy
system.
to be here. Yes.
Yay! Another A grade. Yeah. Okay, good. So we're grading today. Obviously, I guess we just went into that sort of paradigm. So here we are, and I want to ask you first. Just in the New Orleans area, I mean, this is a big area. There's a lot of you guys, principals running around, a lot of administrators. What are you really proud of in this area, or for your school in particular? What are you proud of?
I'll be happy to go first.
Okay.
So I think for me, one of the things I'm most proud of, and I'm in a position right now to be able to represent a lot of principals in Louisiana. And one of the things that I'm most proud of is to see the work and the efforts that everybody in education in Louisiana has specifically been putting towards literacy and towards numeracy, to see those huge growths and to see Louisiana really kind of changing the story about what education is in our area, and to see big growth in our language learners and to see big growth inside of the literacy, especially on our students who have historically underperformed nationally and are now ranking near the top.
I'd be really proud of that too. That's like actual achievement. That's what we're all supposed to be proud of, right? Also, you're principal of the year
Sure.
for Louisiana,
That's
which is
true.
amazing.
Yeah, it's a great honor, and I appreciate the opportunity to be able to be here and talk to you about it. But of course, the really the weight and the importance of that honor is that it represents the hard work and the efforts of all of our students and principals. It's not an individual thing. So
Yeah.
happy to be able to represent
And all
that.
your teachers and
For
all the
sure.
people. Yes.
It's a team effort.
I like it. Okay, good. Bill, what are you proud of?
I think what I'm most proud of, and I was talking to Justin about this earlier, a little win or a big win, is currently at Northshore High, we have about 25% of our faculty are alum of the school. We just put together our yearly Christmas card, and we decided this year to feature all the alum on the Christmas card because we're extremely proud of, we all know how difficult it is to get teachers in general right now, but particularly to be able to have a staff that is full of highly qualified teachers that are also alumni of your school, we feel like is a huge win for that. And
So they grew up here.
Yeah.
They went to school.
We didn't scare them off. They came back.
Place.
Yes, ma'am.
That is amazing.
And it runs the gamut of, we've got some who are 25 years removed from the school and some who are fresh out of college. So it's veteran teachers as well as brand new teachers. And really a step beyond that, we have several other teachers who are graduates of St. Tammany Parish, maybe not our particular school, but of our school system. There's another, probably dozen teachers in our school that are part of our parish. So we're really proud of that. The product that we're putting out is coming back to us, and that has huge, community implications as well. There's all kinds of a greater reach to that of keeping people local.
Oh yeah, but it says that you created a good product, and therefore you're getting an expanding base and product. That's true for any business. If you create something, it gets word of mouth, and it perpetuates itself. So that's not happening in the rest of the country, a perpetuating pipeline of teachers at all, right? Really. I mean, I can't think of anywhere that's the way. So good for you. That is a very positive thing. It also must feel like family. Like everybody's like, yeah, I remember you in 4th grade, you were a brat. So yeah, but then you grew up and you're okay. That's fun because it must feel like family and very close knit here. Yeah.
So I think a common theme that you see in a lot of public schools, and the public schools in Louisiana are strong. So you see a lot of people who are wanting to come back and make an impact on their community. And so we have lots of parents who say, I want to be at the school with my son or daughter, or I want to give back to the place where I finally found out what I wanted to do with my life or found myself. And so
Wow.
I think there's a lot of that, and it's always great to see people who want to come back and give back to their own communities. Most of our educators live in the community that they're giving back to and want to see an impact on the students. It really is a special thing.
Yeah, it is special. Well, I feel like it's a real rising star, right? Like you guys went through all kinds of issues with the hurricanes, and then you had turnarounds. I've heard excellent turnaround stories, not just you guys, but in other schools in the area that are just spectacular, and now higher achievement rates. I feel like it's legitimate to say that New Orleans, Louisiana, is a rising star. It's legitimate, right? I'm not like just you guys are nice. I want to smile at you right now. It's like it's legitimate that this is really true. So that's amazing. Well, we had a lot that we learned from you guys today, which was I thank you for. But also we threw a lot at you, not just me, but Sean from Kinham and my friend Bethany over there from Brain Freeze and Aria and the Lightspeed people. And I think we showed you about the Bloom stuff. You were very contributive about what's happening in the juvenile justice system. I thank you for that. And then you guys also. So I just really think that I want to hear what your takeaway is from what the reverse flow was to you, like the what you were given in terms of a lot of ideas about where AI is going. What do you think?
Well, I'll start. I think one of the things that kind of stuck with me the most was about midway through, we started talking about the tool versus the infrastructure aspect of it, and the importance of people understanding that it's not just another small piece, but that it is not just becoming, but really already is part of the infrastructure. And I feel like the recognition of that across the board is something that needs to be increased. So, the opportunity to visit and talk about that and really to learn about that today has been really beneficial.
Good. Thank you. Good.
I would say for me, a really unique perspective of talking about the future, but it's not uncommon for people to discuss AI or to discuss technology and the impact that that's going to have on a short term or even on an industry, but to really let that hit home and say, how could that influence what the student experience will be, and to see what kind of impact might that have on the ideas of having a pipeline of quality instructors, or to develop a leadership capacity in leaders, and to say, like, okay, what does this look like when we start to implement artificial intelligence into these streams that fall within our industry that we're all very familiar with. So it was great to be, I consider myself a dreamer, and I appreciate that today you pushed the limits of the things I've ever dreamed of. Thanks.
Yeah, that's super fun. Yeah, trying to dream big. Yeah, because we're walking into a pretty different future. So let me ask you this. Throw that back after the AI conversation, and both of you are very good at talking about this already. Let's go back into our human intelligence side. So we also had a lot of conversations about humans, and you're talking about increasing human capacity. You were talking about what's going on with the students and why we need to talk to them on the right channel. Communication is key. You're already living this reality. We got to focus on the human side. So juggle back to the other side off the AI. Go into now, what does that really mean we need to do with human side because of where AI is going? Who wants to go first?
I'll jump in on this one. So
okay.
I think we all know that not only is AI here, but it's here to stay. Yeah. And that in the same way that right now you would never expect a student not to use a resource like Google, that you would never ban a student from using that as a resource. And so now I think in preparation of how do we leverage something that we know is here to stay, and how do we prepare people for a future of using a tool, a whole field really, that we really are is still growing and developing. We don't, not only do we not know where it will be, but we don't necessarily know how we can leverage that for really great success. So I think right now, a little pain point for us is to figure out what is the best way for us to train students and current adults about how to be prepared to leverage this changing future.
How to be a human in the envelope of a different age. Yeah. But what do you think?
So I'll say this. We talk a lot about culture and communication, and I was recently asked, what would be the one thing you'd tell any leader or teacher on a campus that would affect culture immediately, that anyone can do? And my answer was to talk to the kids on your campus. And I say that because they're happy to talk back with you if you give them an opportunity and you give them a platform to do that. And I think in this case, it correlates because the students, the kids on our campuses are the ones who, in many cases, are ahead of the curve or ahead of where many of us are with using technology and using AI. I think if you just spoke to those individuals and asked them, what are you using AI for? What do you think you need to use AI for? Instead of reacting to, oh, you used AI and I didn't want you to use it. Why did you use it? Why did you feel like it was something that could benefit you or could serve you for this assignment or this purpose? What's your rationale for wanting it? Why not talk to them? We spin our wheels so much on how to connect with kids instead of asking them how to connect with them. We can be the smartest adults in the room and solve the problem from an adult's perspective, but then try to implement it to a teen. And that's not what's best practice for that team. Talk to those kids and find out from them where it's applicable for them.
Yeah, and I like that you just brought that up, because what you're really saying, if you ask them about, what are they doing with AI, how to talk to them, you're really asking them, where are you? Like, and where are you? Like, what's going on there? Like, where are you? And you and I know they're in social media, they're on YouTube. And when you ask that question now with the AI research is going to tell you, because this is in the Harvard study, in 2025, the number one thing people are doing with AI, this is the consumer AI, not the platform AI and the Omni AI orchestration, like with Brain Freeze and Aria. The number one reason they're doing this in consumer, it's a social emotional support. Literally what humanity is doing right now is not turning to humans, it's turning to AI to talk to it. I don't think there could be more of four alarm fire than that. Do you agree? That's the biggest 4-alarm fire I think I've seen in my lifetime. So, serious. So you're totally right. Okay. Final comments, because I just do a big whopper out there. You don't have to go down that road, but you can if you want, or you can make another final comment. Justin, over to you.
I'll make a comment about that first before I say something different. But the ability for educators to connect with students, that you can't outsource that.
No.
And that the human element of educators who are demonstrating care for the learner, that's irreplaceable.
Yeah.
And one of the things that Bill is an expert in, like he's the man when it comes to it, is connecting with individuals and making them feel valued and welcomed. Yeah. And that's why the students at his campus, and that's a model that I try to follow myself, is that we want to know our students' names. We want to be able to ask them about how the ball game went this weekend, and we want to know what struggles they're going through, because we are people first, and our first duty is to care for the whole student. And Then, I mean, and head fake, whenever the kid knows that you genuinely care about them, they want to listen when you say, hey, I got a plan for us to be successful in math. I got an idea about what we can do if we want to see you graduate on time, if we want to see you earn this career in tech education credit. Now they're listening because what you're saying, they know that this man cares for me or this teacher cares for me. And so that's an important piece that students are telling, the data is telling you people are hungry for it. And we have a great opportunity and a great platform to be able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, it's fascinating though, just such a juxtaposition from where we were at as humanity like 150 years ago, right? I just feel it's so, wow, you know, so many reasons for it, but wow. So, okay, all right, Bill, your final comment. Thank you, Justin. That was awesome.
Thank you, Justin. Yeah, I just heard somebody say 20 years ago, right? I feel like that's one of the things we spent some time talking about today was the unknown and getting comfortable with the unknown and, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. We hear that a lot. And understanding that everything is relative. Like we're in a world that to us is changing faster than we could have ever imagined.
Mm-hmm.
But is it really changing any faster to us than it was changing to our parents 50 years ago based on how they grew up? The perception, I think, is part of the challenge, that we perceive that what we are dealing with and the changes that are facing us are so much greater or so much more intense that maybe we should pause. And it's not. I don't think that it is. I challenge that thought. I think that we're just like anybody else. It's just different challenges, and they need to be embraced and they need to be welcomed. And otherwise, you don't move forward. And if you're resisting that, then you run the very strong risk of being left behind. And that's the last thing, particularly in education, that any one of us wants to run that kind of a risk. So embrace the unknown.
Yeah.
Embrace that as a challenge, and don't look at it as something that has never been part of what we needed to deal with. Look at it as the opportunity of getting to be part of something that we've never had been able to deal with before.
Yeah. Yeah. Jump out of that airplane. Just do it. Maybe there'll be a parachute. We'll see. Super exciting, right? Scary. Okay, so this has been super fun. Thank you guys for being with us today as Learning Council. We love to come to your town.
Thank you.
Especially since my chief operating officer is a really big fan of oysters. So anytime we can go back to New Orleans, we're coming.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a place to go.
You're in the right place for oysters. Thank you guys.
It was
for having
awesome.
us.
Awesome.
We'd love to have you on.
Thank you. Thank you.